Bon, mesdames et messieurs, bonjour, bonsoir. Ça dépend de qui attend des vidéos, ça. Now, I have to do this. I want to do this video in English, but there is so much important information that I'm going to give you about Eminifx that I want everybody to understand, both Haitian, non-Haitians. I want everybody to understand what's going on because this is about your money and this is going to affect you. So I'm going to try to do it in both languages, and some of the things I would repeat them in Creole, but I have to do this in English so everybody understand. Okay, now remember that yesterday I dropped a video and I explained that the court, Judge Caprini, issued an order allowing the receiver, David Castleman, to then move ahead with the distribution of the money. And of course, the money has been in the center of discussions because I've gotten a lot of calls from people. I've gotten email, people wondering, asking me, Professor, how much money I'm going to, what the percentage I'm going to get, how much of it went. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm going to say because what I'm going to say is so important because it can either get you your money the first week of February or it could delay you. So please pay attention. Et ça me va dire très important pour les gens qui besoin de rapide. Ça me va dire tellement important si ne pas suivre bien, ça capable bon outil delay dans qui on a l'argent. But I want you guys to listen carefully. Now, the receiver just issued right now, just before I started this video, the receiver just issued a notice of initial distribution, which I have in my hand right now. Okay, notice of initial distribution, which I have in my hand right now. So I'm going to go over it with you guys. It doesn't make sense for me to put it on the screen. Let me just explain to you what that is so you understand. Okay. Now, after the judge issued the order, then the receiver moved very quickly, I have to say, to then issue this notice of initial distribution. Now, in this notice, there are a whole bunch of important information, and I'm going to go very slow so you guys get what I'm saying. Now, remember that everyone was talking about $298 million, $300 million. It turns out that the receiver only collected $154 million, okay? And that is actually 152 million. I was talking to a brother this morning who said he was 154, and I disputed. But the paper the receiver I just got from the receiver says it's 152 million. Now, this is the total money. C'est tout l'argent qui a gagné, receiver a gagné lui-même dans conflit for pal pour le remettre moun qui te mette kobyo. The people that that give money, that put money into Eminifx. The receiver only has 152 million. Now, initially, there were $298 million giving out. So you're talking about there's 100 and somewhat, 30 somewhat, $40 million that is gone, that's missing, okay? So that money is gone for many reasons. I don't have to explain to you why the money is gone, but the money is gone. And maybe Eddie Alexander still have some money hiding somewhere for when he gets out of prison. Now, here's what's interesting. The receiver is not going to give out $152 million. That's not going to happen. And this initial notice that I have in my hand right now, that you can see in the video right now, the receiver is only going to distribute $100 million, okay? And the $100 million is going to give it by different classes. I mean, he put people in different classes. And so from the beginning, forget about 152 million. He's only going to start with $100 million. Now, with the $100 million, okay, there is a percentage of 45%. What does that mean? It means that, and I've talked to you about this before, guys. If you invested $100, forget about interest because there was never any investment. There was no interest. You're going to get a percentage of that money. You're never going to get 100%. That doesn't happen. There were losses. You're not going to get 100%. But right now, as I'm looking at this right here, it says right here, 45%. You can see it. And I'm going to try to tag this online So some of you can see it. But anyway, 45%. Now, that 45%, the first wave, okay? And I wanna tell you this so that you guys understand, because there are still people that's still going to have problem, and I'm going to explain what I think those problems are going to be. Now, there are a number of classes of people, the way that the receiver put people into class. So class 3, there are 22,642 users who are eligible for payment, okay? So those are people who overall who are eligible to get some kind of money back from the receiver. Now, the receiver total, when he calculate how much money in terms of percentage everybody's going to get, those 23,643 people are going to get an accumulated of 94.6 million, $94.6 million to be paid out to 23,643 people. Now, out of that, there are another class, okay? Class 3 users have some people, 798 people, 798 moun, qui dans liste receveur, qui pas recevoir l'argent, il pas recevoir zéro, ok? Ça a changé comme je dit, gagne 23 000 moun, gagne 23 643 moun qui pourra recevoir en tout 94,6 millions, gagne 798 moun, 98 moun qui pas recevoir aucun l'argent. I'm going to tell you why these people are not receiving money. So you may be one of these people. So that's important for you to hear. The receiver said, in the list of investors, there are 798 users, people, you know, who invested money or who gave money to Eminifx. These people withdraw more money than they actually invested. And I know some people in the Haitian community who invested, I know a particular guy who invested $300,000 and withdraw 1.2 million. So those are people who knew the scheme, who knew what was going on. Those Adventist pastors, they all knew what was going on. A lot of them withdraw their money, certainly because they knew this was a Ponzi scheme. So there are 798 users who are not going to get money. Now, there are, in addition, another class 3A. Class 3A, and I will explain to you why they use why the receiver break it into different class. Class 3As are users that are also eligible for payment, and those payment, there are 7,991 people, 7,991 moun, qui t'a supposé joindre un agrégé total de 2,2 millions. C'est-à-dire que ce sont des moun qui, par exemple, moun qui t'investi 500 000 $, 2 000 $, c'est comme pitié, pas gros l'argent. Now, we also have a group of people, 115 moun seulement, qui pas en pile, qui pas recevoir aucun l'argent. Now, moun sa yo, gen doit gen en pile raison qui fait yo pas recevoir kob yo, parce que yo gen doit non yo là, mais yo pas ka déterminer côté kob la, qui jan kob la entrer. Parce que en pile moun, you have to prove where the money, you know, where the money came and how the money came and how you're making the claim. Now, I have to tell you that what the receiver filled out in court certainly is a public information. Anybody could go to the court and download it. But he has all this exhibit that he shows. There are also 632 users for an aggregate of between $2 and $5 million. Those are disputed transactions. So, il y a 630 moun qui gen transaction qui nan dispute. Ça veut dire, parce que il y a des gens qui disent, ah, mais toi, je vais 42 000 $, même gardez moi, c'est 5 000 $ seulement, receveur a dit, je gagne, tandis que je vais 42 000. Il y a des gens qui disent, ah, mais toi, je vais 20 000, mais vous dites, ça que c'est 7 000. En pile des fois, si nous te bail moun pour mon investir pour nous, moun nan pour un peu dans comme le fouet dans poche, la règle a fait pal, et puis qu'on y a lui même il veut un petit bail tout petit pour. I assume, c'est ça me pense, I assume this is what happened. Okay, now, somebody is important. What I'm going to say that's very important, guys. The receiver said that lui recevoir seulement dans 23 000 moun qui est éligible pour paiement que monsieur te parler en là. Receiver a dit dans papier ça que n'a regardé là c'est 15 000 personnes seulement qui baillent information paiement. Changez comme je dis, non? You have to go to the receiver's website and put your bank account information, normally the bank account, the routing number, okay? Et puis the bank name, certainly your name, your address, all that information, so the receiver can then wire the money to your account. That's the fastest, quickest way to get your money back, is to have the receiver wire the money. Now, I find this very interesting because il y a presque 9 000 moun qui pas by payment information, which means that your payment is going to be delayed. Because if the receiver has to mail you a check, you understand that somebody have to actually go and prepare the checks and then find your address, put your address in an envelope and mail it to you. The whole thing could take a month as opposed to a week. So it's really up to you guys. But you all know the receiver's website. I'm going to put it there for you so you can see it. You got to go to the website. If you haven't provided your payment information, please go ahead and do that. So, il y a 15 000 personnes seulement qui buy payment information. So, à peu près 9 000 personnes, on a dit presque 8 à 9 000 personnes qui peuvent buy payment information on the receiver's website. You have to do that. Now, receiver a dit too que he's going to send an email to everyone so that a copy of this notice. So, gardez dans email nous, n'a joint notice ça que m'a parlé aujourd'hui là que receiver envoyé. That should be in your email. So, take a look at your email and then you will see the notice, okay? Mais ça receiver a dit que me trouve très important. Il dit que tout user qui buy paiement information yo, OK, by January 31 2025, il a recevoir paiement premier semaine février. Ça veut dire, mesdames et messieurs, tout haïtien frère mieux, sous pas qu'on bail non, sous pas qu'on bail information pour paiement online, al fait parce que sous que t'en fait avant 31 janvier, ou après recevoir partie dans corbeau, premier partie, on va recevoir première semaine mois février. Ça veut dire que et je pense que jeudi à combien? Jeudi à 22 ou bien 23 qui date jeudi? Jeudi à 23. Jeudi 23. Si on fait ça jeudi, on va recevoir paiement peut-être dans 2 semaines. Ça veut dire que première semaine, entre le 1er février et le 10 février, on supposé joindre cob. Kounya là, et je connais grand pile monde qui a demandé, qui a dit, pour qui ça, c'est 100 millions de dollars seulement, monsieur qui a distribué, parce que naturellement, depuis cob là moins, pourcentage pour la moins. C'est-à-dire que ça affecte combien cob. Ou le même pourcentage là, mais la moins, parce que 45% de 200 000, plus que 45% de 100 000. Vous comprenez? So, on va moins. Et, mais ça qui passe. Dans le papier, monsieur écrit là, papier ça qui me devant là, que m'a pris là. Vous comprenez? Receveur a dit que lui a distribué seulement 100 millions. L'a kembe 52 millions en réserve. Et faut me dire que, mais raison que monsieur Bay, qui fait l'a kembe 52 millions. Premier bagage, monsieur dit que there is the tax liability. So he's going to distribute $100 million and hold back 52 million. But he did say why. So he said why he's not distributing the entire 152 million. It's going to distribute only 100 million. Now, the reason that he gave, he said the first thing is tax liability. Now, I'm going to go to le monde qui t'a posé question, bagay, pour qui ça que nous pas fait quoi, pour qui ça n'a payé taxe, c'est pas notre bon business, c'est pas notre business, c'est notre magouille, c'est notre Ponzi scheme, c'est de ceci, c'est de cela. OK? Nous parlons de ça déjà, et me dit nous que le gouvernement a besoin qu'on ait, s'il te Ponzi scheme, s'il te business, depuis qu'on entre, le gouvernement comme mafia, il faut que je ne parle dans l'argent. C'est-à-dire que pour aller gagner, pour payer taxe. Et taxe, ça, c'est pas après, je ne vais pas le bailler, au final, il dit, et puis au find out que c'est Ponzi scheme, non? Ma parole il dit te fait commencer, il prend quoi, il office, il sait si là est moun, il paye moun, tout ça entretenu entre taxes. So, monsieur Québec comme ça, il dit que premièrement et son question de taxes parce que a fait taxe pour qu'on finisse régler. Il besoin régler a fait taxe. Kounya là, il dit tout, il Québec comme là parce que l'État, la loi américaine mandé que fédéral gouvernement ait priorité sur toute bagaille qui est pour la taxe. C'est-à-dire que quelqu'un est assez cob, parce que je ne pas dire que taxe à 52 millions, non, parce que je ne pas le monde dit mettre, ou dit c'est 52 millions de taxes. Ce n'est pas ça me dit. Moi, je dis que M. Kembe Kob là, parce que l'État dit que il suppose une priorité sur taxe là. Mais tant pour M. Tan, pour le connaître exactement combien de taxes là et puis pour le payer nous comme là juste en juillet, lui fait un calcul côté il dit bon et quitter me 100 millions de dollars, quitter rete 52 millions et puis nous va regarder comment taxe est. Quand il y a si comme qui était tout après les tout bagaille fin payé, nous ka un outil poussière là-dedans secrétaire. You know, I mean after he pays everything, then you can have something. Now, monsieur parlait de taxes là, OK? Monsieur dit que li kembe kob yo tout parce que il y a une transaction qui est en dispute et il y a une transaction tout quelqu'un be sous hold, quelqu'un be en détente. Et puis il dit qu'il y a other contingency. In fact, what he says the receiver is maintaining reserve to address resolution of accounts with disputed transactions or review holds or other contingencies. Okay? So the receiver has $100 million budget for the initial distribution is categorized as follows. Je vais t'expliquer nous avant, qui reflète qui groupe moun k'ap jwenn kob, combien kob y a jwenn ki li ap jwenn. Kounya, si ou même ou te ba information pour ouvrir kob la ba ou pas de dispute, ou pas de dispute avec yo dou que c'est $20,000 te bay, c'est $20,000 te bay vraiment, ou pas de prendre plus kob côté mette, ni tout ou pas de tirer en ken du tout parce que ou doit par exemple ou te investi 20,000 et puis retirer 5,000. OK? So still gen 15,000 qui rete. So dans 15,000 ça pourcentage pour là à 45 à 50%, gen doit 7,000, gen doit 6,000, gen doit c'est ça que yo ba ou. Mais comme Jean-Michel va le faire là, monsieur va le faire en wave. Ou a nous premier chèque qui gon ti kob la donne, ou a nous deuxième chèque. Mais sous addition de tout ça jeune yo de recevoir ensemble, l'état supposé entre 50 à 58%. C'est ça que monsieur dit. So, et moi, bien content pour moi faire parler avec nous pour m'expliquer nous ça parce que nous connaissons longtemps que et professeur Abgoumen pour assurer que tout haïtien, tout le monde qui est investi dans Eminifx joigne l'argent comme ça doit. Et kounya là, nous arrivons dans fin process. Alors, l'aime dit dans fin process, on va parler dans fin process pour recevoir l'argent parce que le process n'a pas fini, il y a toujours qu'à faire. Mais ça qui fait que je suis content, c'est parce que kounya là, pour la première fois, the receiver for the first time actually put on paper the date by which he's going to start sending out checks. Now, he made it very clear, and I'm going to read what the receiver says so that this goes on the record, okay? The receiver and his team have been and will continue to collect payment information from users. Over 15,000 users have already provided payment information. Users will be sent an email announcing this notice. So now you will receive an email saying, hey, there's the notice. Please do what you got to do. Which and that notice will also be posted in the main homepage of the receivership website, which you should have by now. And users will be reminded to provide payment information as soon as possible. Now, for those users who provide their payment information by January 31st, 2025, those users will receive payment in the first wave of payment in early February 2025, which is about a week from now. And of course, I'm thinking early February could be anywhere between the 1st and the 15th, take a few days. But early February means the first 2 weeks of February. I mean, it's logical and reasonable to think when the receiver said the early February, it's mean between the 1st and the 15th. So, pour moun di ménage yo, quand on va raconter Saint-Valentin va arriver, nous pas encore pour mener ménage nous à madame nous sorti. Okay. So, this is sort of my update and this is very exciting, guys. You should be happy. All of you are eventually going to get your money and I'm hoping that the sooner the better. So now that you know what to do, if you haven't provided your information, please go do so right now so that you can get the money. Now, what I'm asking all of my viewers, the people that watch my videos, that subscribe to my channel to do, please, when you get your check, let me know how much you get. You can send a text if you can send a comment, say, oh, Professor, I got a check, it was for $7,300. Professor, I got a check, it was for $12,000, whatever it was. Because I want to make sure that, because when I took on this a few years ago, and I have to tell you that I survived a lot of personal attack. People were calling me all kind of names and that they thought I was doing this. And all I said was that I've spoken to a lot of people in the Haitian community. And I'm not talking about people who have a lot of money or people who are intellectual, doctors, lawyers, professors. No, I'm talking about moun kap travay ka tigran moun kap fait taxi, moun ki travay du toute la vie yo, pou yo save ti l'argent yo, et puis tout kob yo te save lan, they give it to Eddie. Those are the people that I was fighting for. Those are the people that I talk to all the time. Some of them don't even speak English. Some of them are working very hard. Some of them lost their houses. They lost their apartment. Those are the people that really, you know, that forced me to do this, and I do it for them. So I'm happy that we come to a point now where I can safely say to you that in a matter of 2 weeks or so, you're going to receive payment. So thank you for watching. Please send the link to your friends. If you haven't subscribed to the professors, subscribe to the professors, because this Eminifx case, it's not going to be over because we have another case in Miami. But I'm hoping that in the next few years, this is going to be over and we'll be able to talk about other things. But education, guys, is very, very important. In our community, we are too trustful. We trust people for no reason at all. We have to be very careful when it comes to money, how you invest your money and who you give your money to. So until then, thank you so much, guys. And this is going to be a new year, a good year for most of you. At least you're going to get some of your money back. Thank you.